2026 is shaping up to be a particularly interesting year for JRPGs. Instead of relying solely on familiar formulas, many upcoming titles are experimenting with darker narratives, unusual gameplay systems, and new interpretations of what a JRPG can be. In this video, I'll be listing some of the most notable JRPGs, in my opinion, releasing in the first quarter of 2026, and briefly breaking down what makes each one of them worth keeping an eye on. The first game on our list is Escape from Ever After. Escape from Ever After is a JRPG heavily inspired by the Paper Mario games. Everything from its cute art style to its familiar battle system is inspired by the classic Paper Mario series. We play as Flint Buckler, a classic fairy tale adventurer that storms the castle of his evil dragon arch-nemesis, Tender. But to his surprise, the once intimidating fortress has now been converted into corporate offices for the company Ever After Inc. Flint must then team up with his former nemesis Tender as they climb the corporate ladder and take down Ever After Inc. from the inside. Along our journey, we can recruit disgruntled employees to join our team and battle against evil fairy tale characters. Since I love the Paper Mario series, this game immediately jumped out at me. I love the art style, the character designs, and the overall presentation. So hopefully this game ends up being successful because it looks like the developers added a lot of heart and passion into this project. Escape from Ever After is scheduled to be released on January 23rd on PC and all other major consoles. Next up is Blightstone. Blightstone is supposed to be a challenging turn-based strategy RPG with roguelike progression. We lead a team of adventurers to destroy the Blightstone, which means our goal is to take the Earth Glass Crystal to the Infernal Rift so that we can destroy the Demon Overlord and shatter the Blightstone. If we succeed, we can save the world from corruption once and for all. Blightstone allows us to use free movement to battle enemies in a beautifully drawn environment. That environment can also be used to damage enemies to give yourself advantages in battle. As we level up each member of our team, we unlock skills that can make battling easier. But evil doesn't stop just because the day is over. Every night we have to protect ourselves at our camp and avoid the blight. The story seems like it has potential to be good, but the battle system and rogue elements are what has me the most excited for this title. The fact that we can hide in tall grass and even use weather elements to our advantage sounds like it'll be a great time. I'm sure there will be a ton of different ways to finish the game and build up your teams. Blightstone has a demo available now if you want to check it out, but the full version of this game is supposed to release on January 20th on Steam. The Seven Deadly Sins Origin is a free-to-play open-world action RPG based on the IP of the same name. This is being developed and published by Netmarble, which also did the Ni no Kuni MMO game that was released a few years ago. We take the role of Prince Tristan as we embark on our journey. Prince Tristan sets out into the world to restore order to Britannia. We can build a team of other characters from the universe as we battle our way through all the evils the world has to offer. Origin also allows for us to fish, cook, and just explore between combat in a world that, in my opinion, looks very good. I've been burned by anime-based games in the past, but since this one is free, I'll check this one out because the battle system looks fun and fast. The Seven Deadly Sins Origin officially releases on January 28th for PS5, PC, iOS, and Android. Let me know if this one is something you might check out for yourself down in the comments below. I'm curious if people will give this one a shot. Next up is Steel Century Groove. Steel Century Groove is a giant robot rhythm RPG developed and published by Sloth Gloss Games. In this goofy RPG, we take colossal war machines that we built to stop the apocalypse, and we use them in dance battles. This one sort of reminds me of a monster battler like Pokemon, but instead of fighting other mechs, we challenge them in dance battles with a rhythm-based battle system. It's probably one of the weirdest games on my list, but it might be one of the games that I'm most excited about. In Steel Century Groove, we level up our mechs, equip them with mods, and we pair them up with different combinations of backup dancers. Each mech in the game has its own set of abilities, mechanics, and resources. A simple starting mech will only use energy, while later mechs will end up having to maintain an army of drones or swapping between cards in a mini deck builder. The music is high energy, and the developer even added a streamer mode, so that if you wanted to make videos or stream this game, you don't have to worry about the copyright issues, which I think is really cool. I don't know if I'll be any good at this one, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. Steel Century Groove is set to release on January 28th for PC, and has a demo now if you want to check it out. Code Vein 2 is the sequel to Code Vein, an anime-inspired Souls-like game. In a future world where humans and revenants coexist, revenants have transformed into mindless monsters called horrors. As a revenant hunter, the player shall halt the world's inevitable collapse by traveling to the past with a girl called Lou, who possesses the power to manipulate time. I've never played the first game, so I don't know how much you need to do that before playing this one. But the gameplay is fast-paced, and they added a gameplay mechanic that allows players to drain and acquire blood from enemies so that they can unleash a variety of different skills. I've always enjoyed Souls-like games, so I usually end up checking out most of them when they release. I like the fact that you have a companion that travels with you and that the game can be played with another person, but I don't know how much of a hurry I am to dive into this one. I feel like I need to play the first title before tackling this one, so honestly I can't say I'm the most excited about this game. But it is one of the larger titles coming out in the first quarter of the year, so I thought I would include it. But let me know what you think about this one. Code Vein 2 officially releases on January 30th for Xbox Series X and S and PC. Next up is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is a turn-based RPG with a classic battle system. Reimagined is a remake of Dragon Quest VII that was released on the PlayStation 1 and the 3DS years later. In Reimagined, we play as a bright-eyed young fisherman's son that has lived his entire life on the peaceful island of Estard. Your journey begins with a simple question: is there more to the world than just this small island kingdom? So on a quest for more answers, you and your childhood friends discover the Shrine of Mysteries and are swept back in time. There you uncover the shocking truth that entire lands have been sealed away. Each restored land tells a self-contained story, kingdoms plagued by war, curses, monsters, and human greed. Your actions in the past directly shape the present, allowing civilizations to either flourish or fall forever. Unlike typical RPGs, Dragon Quest VII focuses heavily on storytelling and consequences, with many tales ending in tragedy rather than triumph. This game blends a diorama art style with Akira Toriyama's iconic character designs, and that mix looks amazing. It's bright, bold, and the game just looks beautiful. The combat looks fun with different vocational perks, auto-battling, and all-out attacks, making the gameplay more streamlined. From my understanding, this game will have a ton of content, so it will be worth its price point when it releases. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined releases worldwide on February 5th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, and PC. I'll be grabbing this one on release day, and this is probably my most anticipated JRPG in the first quarter of the year. Nioh 3 is the third installment in the Nioh series, and is an action RPG played from the third-person perspective. In this game, we're tasked with battling yokai and supernatural beings as we ascend to become the Shogun. Nioh 3 looks like they've continued letting players fully customize their character's appearance like in the second game. And players now have two playstyles to pick from, the samurai style and the ninja style, each having their own benefits and allowing the player to play through the game with a style more suited for them. It does look like this time that the game will be less linear and has larger, more explorable spaces throughout the world. I've never played a Nioh game, I've only ever watched a few people play them over the years, but they always look pretty good and seem to be chaotic. I believe these games are known for their difficulty, so if you haven't played Nioh like myself, then maybe check and see if this is something you'll like before purchasing this one. Nioh 3 is officially releasing on February 6th for PS5 and PC, but I've also seen that it's releasing on the 5th in different places, so it's either the 5th or the 6th. Next up is Calamity Angels Special Delivery. Calamity Angels Special Delivery is a delivery service RPG developed by Compile Heart and published by Idea Factory International. This game blends RPG mechanics with strategic crew and development management. Unlike traditional fantasy RPGs rooted in epic quests or dark destinies, Calamity Angels drops players into a vibrant Okotoris region, a fantastical world where delivery services are the center of adventure and competition. You lead a group of carriers, a team tasked with safely transporting packages across dangerous landscapes, through monster encounters and rival delivery crews that want to steal your thunder. Rather than deep, dramatic narrative, the story thrives on world building through character interactions, humor, and competition. Each delivery reveals new locales, personalities, and challenges that define your team's reputation. The gameplay mixes strategy, RPG progression, and unpredictable encounters as you manage your crew and get packages from A to B. Your main objective is simple on paper. You need to complete deliveries by assembling a balanced crew equipped with the right gear and tools. The only problem is that every route has hazards, monsters, and surprises. Each team member has a mood stat, so you'll need to keep them happy and cooperative, or risk your team ignoring your orders altogether. Progression in Calamity Angels plays out using a roulette board mechanic. You spin a roll to move across the map. That map is full of shops, encounters, bonus spots, and delivery objectives. At the end of each successful delivery, you'll be rewarded with better gear, items, and rewards, which in turn help you tackle tougher routes and bosses that threaten your delivery timeline. I don't know why, but this game looks like an absolute blast to me and even sort of reminds me of the old Dokapon games. Calamity Angels Special Delivery releases February 17th on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Tales of Berseria Remastered is an action RPG getting the extra love that it deserves. In Tales of Berseria, the Sacred Kingdom awaits the arrival of its savior, and a lone woman named Velvet is marked by traumatic descent. You play as Velvet on her journey for vengeance, along with her cast of eccentric companions as they sail through the kingdom of Midgand. Combat allows us to freely choose artes that suit our playstyle, and perform a variety of combos. By collecting enemy souls, you can unleash a barrage of attacks for a satisfying battle experience. The remaster adds useful features like destination markers and the ability to disable enemy encounters, making traversing the islands of Midgand quicker and better. I personally feel like all RPGs should give the player the option to disable enemy encounters, at least for places that they've already visited. The remaster should also give a smoother play experience from the previous version of the game, and all the 2016 DLC is included this time around, giving a bunch of content for this release. This is one of the Tales games I've never played, so I'm happy that a more streamlined version will be available for me to check out in 2026. I've missed a lot of the Tales games in the past, but I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth into the series in 2026. Tales of Berseria Remastered releases on February 26 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Next up is Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. Monster Hunter Stories 3 is the next major installment in Capcom's turn-based RPG spin-off of the Monster Hunter franchise. You play as the heir to the Kingdom of Azura, a rider that is tasked with unraveling the truth behind the twin Rathrios, healing fractured relations, and facing the rising threat that could destroy your world. Combat revolves around strategic turn-based battles using a team of monsters, or monsties. You could choose between power, speed, or technical attacks, each of those with their own strengths and weaknesses. Think of it a bit like rock, paper, scissors. Outside of combat, you can hatch eggs, befriend monsters, and strengthen your party by nurturing relationships and unlocking abilities. As you progress through the story, your monsties evolve and develop unique skills that expand your options in combat. Think of this part like Pokemon. I feel like these set of games are the monster tamer games with a story that is more than just becoming the best in the world. I need to catch up in the series since I've only played the first game, but I will end up picking this one up in the future. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection is scheduled to release March 13th for Nintendo Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Last on my list is Estrange Overlord. Estrange Overlord is a musical action RPG adventure game developed by Gemdrop, Super Niche, and Broccoli, and in the US will be published by NIS America. We play as Estrange von Rosenberg, a sweets-loving daughter of a duke who is falsely accused of assassinating the king and then is promptly executed for the crime. Estrange wakes up in hell, and rather than mope about her misfortunes, she decides to take over the underworld. Along the way, she recruits a motley crew of bizarre characters, which are made up of demons, allies, and subordinates, each with their own quirks. Together, they'll fight, sing, and scheme to topple Hell's hierarchy and claim ultimate power. Estrange Overlord's gameplay is built around fast-paced action and rhythm-infused mechanics rather than traditional turn-based combat. The battles in this game revolve around a unique revolving lane system, which means items, buffs, hazards, and even characters constantly move in a loop around the battle arena. This dynamic field forces players to shoot, slash, and dodge while timing attacks and positioning in real time, which means that combat will be a blend of both close and ranged attacks with platforming, hits, magic, and frantic movement. I think this will make fights feel lively and unpredictable. There's also a 2 to 4 player multiplayer mode, letting you and your friends team up in specially designed arena battles that keep the action chaotic and cooperative. A Strange Overlord releases on March 26th for PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC, and I really like this one so far. The combat seems really fun, and I love the art style. Those are some of the JRPGs I think you should keep your eye on in the first quarter of 2026. Whether you're interested in more experimental ideas or refined takes on familiar systems, this lineup shows how varied the genre is becoming. As more details are revealed, it'd be interesting to see which of these titles truly deliver. If there's a game you're particularly looking forward to, feel free to mention it in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.